Okay. State of mind. If you like what you see, please subscribe. I have somebody today who's been on Guiding Light, All My Children, General Hospital. Incredibly talented. But, you know, I saw a short film she did. And at first, you know, people send me stuff, and I'm going, oh, please be good. Because, you know, I don't want to be lie or, you know, whatever. It was so good. And I was really curious, but I'm going to get into it with her later. But I was curious as to, is it real? Is it her? Is it? And then I said, did she direct this thing? And then it was Michael Easton. Oh, a lot of sensitivity. Michael Easton, who has not done State of Mind, and I'm very upset at you. That's all right. Anyway, her name is Rebecca Budig. Hi. What's going on, man?
I'm really happy to see you.
Yeah.
I always really loved seeing you at work, and always wish we could have worked together.
I know. Oh, so. No, they're not going to get it anywhere close, right?
So I'm very excited.
Well, let's talk about, where do you want to take this first? How long has it been since we've seen each other?
I think I left the last time in November 2019. Yes, because I was working on my short with Michael Easton because we were working together, but we were also like kind of prepping it. We sort of just decided last minute we were going to shoot it in the beginning of January of 2020. So that's when we shot it. I tried to get him here, by the way. I said, why don't you do this with me?
Oh, my God. He
like,
you know, people don't, that I've done pretty much everybody. They don't understand that this is not like a mental health only thing. It's just a conversation. But some people don't want to be on camera and talk, I guess, which you get 90. Wait till you see the love you're going to get on this thing. It's just dun, 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 dun.
Sweet.
You're from?
Northern Kentucky.
What's that like? Northern Kentucky.
That is a great question.
I don't.
So we are like really
Kentucky?
a suburb of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
You know, they border each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I say I'm from Kentucky because we actually lived in Kentucky, but my dad worked in Cincinnati. I went to school in Cincinnati. So I really feel like I lived in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Did I go to? Is that?
I love the town.
Is that like Cleveland?
Well, I haven't really spent any time in Cleveland, but Cleveland's north. So it's like Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
And Kentucky is just like right there, and we're north of Lexington and Louisville.
Oh.
So, but we're really only like 5 minutes from downtown Cincinnati. So it's kind of like.
And you loved it?
Cincinnati. I did.
Until?
I did. I just, I think I moved to LA and then I moved to New York, and I just think being around so many different cultures.
Yeah.
Is so, you get kind of used to that.
Yeah.
And not to say there's not a lot of culture in Cincinnati, because there is, but I just felt like, wow,
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Martinez near, San Francisco, around that area. And it was a tough time for me because when I got into modeling very unsuccessfully.
I love that you're a model.
Oh, yeah, but not really. It was, I wanted it so bad. But I was like 5'2", and these people are like 6 feet. These women are like 6 feet. And I would wear these stupid high heel boots.
Like Prince.
Like Prince, yes. And cover it with long pants. Yes. But everybody knew I wasn't tall. And I didn't succeed. And then I got into acting, and it's like, this is why I don't like my hometown, but it's maybe it's not fair. When I got into acting, just everybody treated me like there's no way in hell I'm going to make it.
Wow.
People from school, people from this. And I was in a small town called Martinez.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Is it out? It's outside of San Francisco, north.
Yeah. I don't know north or south. I've never
You
learned
don't know?
that. No. It's near Berkeley. You know where Berkeley is? You heard
Yeah.
of Berkeley?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, you know, and growing up was great. And in high school, it's fantastic. But once I got into acting, people gave me that feeling. It was tough. And then I was in a mental institution, and then it was done. Then they're like, see? At least that's the impression I felt. But you didn't go through any of that, or did you?
No. Mental institution?
No,
Or-
but just feeling like it's a small town. If you want to be an actor, they're going to look at you different.
No, because I was super fortunate. Like, so Fame was super popular at the time, and there was a school in downtown Cincinnati that was exactly like LaGuardia in New York. And it was a public school, but you had auditioned to get in, and it was just all the arts. And so
Oh, you did that
I went
early
to
then.
performing arts school from 4th grade to 12th grade.
Ah, see?
Yeah. A few of us went there. Rocky Carroll and Todd Loiseau and Nick Lachey.
Really?
He's my buddy, yeah, still. Yeah. But they all came out of that school. Yeah.
Oh, so
We've had
that.
some good success.
So that's different than when you start out that young.
Yeah.
People don't look at you.
So actually, by the time I graduated, I was so burnt out from performing that I thought I wanted to be a veterinarian, which
Yeah,
by
the
way-
zoology.
By the way, I mean, I probably still would have. My dad would kind of was like, well, you're not going to make any money being a vet. And I'm like, who cares? As long as I love it. But I wasn't great at chemistry, I'll be honest. But I was a zoology major, and then I came out here.
But what
and
is
I
a
started
zoology
working.
major?
You just study animals.
Oh, that's.
Yeah.
My daughter would have loved that.
Yeah.
And what is you just? Do you go to zoos or what?
No, you study animal diversity. You study you go to zoos.
That's cool.
No, but there's a really good school here for that.
Oh,
For
there
like-
is?
It's like at Moore Park or something. I know the zookeeper for the San Diego Zoo, and he used to teach there too. Yeah, and he said it's a
Wow.
great school for
Damn.
becoming a zookeeper.
So what made you say, I want to get into acting from that?
Well, I missed it. I went to college, and it was like you go to an art school where people are dancing and playing their instruments in the hall and just creativity. And then you go to a normal school, and you're kind of like, this is not
Yeah, I
really
get
my
it.
thing. And and then I came out here, and I just started working.
Damn.
And I only gave myself a few months because I thought, well, if it doesn't work out, I'll just go back to school. I was young enough, you know. I think
How
when
old
you're
were
young
you?
enough, I was 19.
And you're from a big family.
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
8?
I know.
How is?
My poor father.
I want to know what that's like. 8 children.
It's
Is it? I don't know. I have an older brother. That's it. So I don't know what that's like to have like a big family. Is it?
how many kids do you have?
Oh, that's true. I have
I thought you had 5.
four.
Four.
But two grandchildren, and now another one on the way.
It's just getting. I know. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I saw that.
But 8 is.
Eight's
Did
a
you
lot.
fight a lot with your?
So it was like yours, mine, and ours. My dad had 3, and my mom had 2, and they got married, and they had 3.
Oh,
Right. But we all grew up together, and since I was the youngest, I didn't look at them as my half siblings. I looked at them as my full siblings.
Of course.
So I didn't really fight with the older ones because they were so much older. But my one sister, who we used to call each other twin, we fought. Oh yeah, she dragged me down the stairs, cracked my tooth. She used to chase me around the house with a brush. I mean, I actually took an ice pick and almost like was stabbed because I had to defend myself. I'd bite. I bit her face.
Really?
Yeah, she has a scar on her face from where I bit her.
What? And how old? Like
I don't know. I don't
10
know how old I
to
was.
10 to 15?
No. Hormones, like 12, probably 11, 12. Yeah. The raging hormone age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a girlfriend who literally would fight with her brother, and he'd have like claw marks, bleeding
I had scratch marks. Oh,
down and punching and stuff.
yeah. That she was really the only one I really fought with. I mean, My sister Melissa, we'd fight too when I wouldn't get up in the morning. Apparently, I was terrible. I was terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't get up.
That's like my son Joshua. I think.
And now I wake up at 5. Like, you know, it's so funny.
Yeah, right.
How things change, right?
Yeah, Joshua gets up at 12, 1 o'clock maybe he'll change. I don't know. I get up early.
Do you?
Yeah, especially now with the puppy. But
Oh,
hey, the puppy. So you did a video for Aerosmith, am I right?
oh yeah, music video. I didn't get to meet him.
How was that?
Well, it was my first job,
Right.
and they just
I
asked me to
wanted to
rollerblade.
see it.
No, but I don't do anything. I just rollerblade rollerblade in the beginning, and then I take a hockey stick and bash in a car window, and I skate off, and that was it.
And
That was it. Then I was in an REM video, and I didn't.
REM?
I didn't get to meet. I know.
What's the song?
I think it's called Tongue, or is that the name of the album?
I don't know much. I know, those hits.
It wasn't a huge hit for them,
Yeah.
but it's a good song. It was a good.
So what were you doing there? Dancing?
Actually, it takes place in the 60s. And so my hair is like straight and super long. And we're sitting watching they used to have some like variety show. And so REM is on the TV.
Yeah.
And we're just like listening to the music. And I have a crush on this boy. And this other girl has a crush on him. And I don't know.
So when you first came out, these are big bands. So that was a good thing, right?
I guess.
I mean, some people don't have.
I know. I did lots of commercials and things like that. You know.
Yeah. I didn't.
But-
I couldn't get.
Did you do commercials?
Just one, but I wasn't the commercial type. I was so intense, always.
Really?
Like threatening. It was terrible. But then I lucked out one day. I might have been feeling happy.
Yeah, I was all bubbly, like,
Yeah, that's what they like.
OxyClean. It helps stop pimples before they start or something, Clearasil. Yeah.
And then you did something, Batman? Is that?
Yeah, I was in that movie with Chris O'Donnell, and I had to kiss him, and I was so stiff.
Wait.
I was so, like, I didn't, Maurice, it's weird. Like, I went to this school, right? But I was, like, always eager to please and eager to do the right thing. And I hadn't really transitioned to film, and so I had no idea what I was doing. And I get this part, and it's small, right?
You auditioned for it?
Well, I didn't actually. My friend auditioned. What was his name?
Oh my goodness.
John Neese, his brother Eric Neese, was on The Real World, and
I know
We
that.
were in
I know
acting
Eric
class
Neese.
together. Yeah, you do?
Because I used to watch The Real World all the time.
Oh my God!
Yes, good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his brother John too, very good-looking boys.
Okay.
And we were in acting class together or something. I think, I'm pretty sure. That's how I knew them. And John said, "Hey, will you go into this audition with me? They want me to bring someone. They want us to like do a scene from a soap that's going to be on a TV in the movie." And Joel Schumacher was there, and we did this scene. And he's like, "Rebecca, are you an actress?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay." And he hired me to do this little part. So I walked through this alley and whatever. And then Chris O'Donnell has stolen the Batmobile, and he sees that I'm starting to get like harassed, and he saves me, and I don't know. And then he kisses me and I run off. I mean, but I could have really done a better part. I mean, I'm in the movie 1 minute, maybe 2.
Yeah, but
and I still, to this day, I'm like, God, I was so terrible, whatever. Anyway.
But like
I wish I could do it again.
Would that?
He came out, he's like, "Do I have to teach you two how to kiss?"
Is that the way it was?
It wasn't just me, it was Chris too.
Well, it's Chris O'Donnell, you know what I
I
mean?
think I might have been his first kiss, or I don't know, on camera. Maybe not.
But after that, so that's not enough to get you some heat?
No,
No. But even though it's Joel Schumacher and Big Batman.
Well, I don't know, it could have been, but I got guiding light, and I just didn't have the patience to. I mean, my manager at the time wanted me to wait because I kept getting close on things and testing for things, and he's like, "Just wait, don't do a soap." And I wanted to go to New York. I was like, "Yeah."
And then you got guiding light.
Yeah.
And how long did you do that for?
3 years.
Son of a. You
With
did?
Cynthia.
Oh, with
Montrose.
Cynthia.
I love her.
I love Cynthia.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She's amazing.
She's Sonny's girlfriend.
Is she Sonny's girlfriend now?
Yeah, I've been with.
Like,
we've
been
been
with her.
over 2 years.
It's unbelievable.
You don't, if it's,
Nothing's ever stuck, and she's stuck. So that's good.
it's, yeah.
I mean, listen, I love Laura too, but I mean, for you, it's just probably nice to have
yeah,
someone
I
else
want,
to play with sometimes.
of course,
right?
I like to, and usually when you get with me, it's a kiss of death. It's just the way it works.
Yeah, always.
Okay.
I know. Always. I'm like,
But this one's gone on for over 2 years now.
that's amazing.
It's the longest one that's not named Brenda or Carly.
Right. Right.
So
She's
all my children, that's where you were very popular, and you were with Josh Duhamel.
I was proud of my work not on Guiding Light. It's still Guiding Light. I was
Yeah,
still like,
yeah.
But on All My Children, I felt like it was a great character. And
What kind of character?
well, she was like obviously misunderstood,
yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
But just playing with Josh and playing with Cameron and the group of people, Alicia, I just had a great time. That was like the best years of my life for sure.
And how long?
On and off. I did 6 years, and then I went back for like 3, maybe 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Josh.
He left after 3.
Oh, that's it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a feeling that he was going to do well?
Oh, I knew he was, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it.
Fantastic. That's cool. And he called you Little Budig, is that right?
Little Budig.
Why?
I don't know. He called me Little Budig. Cameron called me Peanut. Just because I was so small next to him. I mean, he would spread his legs to get lower, like when we had a kiss, because it was impossible.
Wow.
And I was in high heels, 3 or 4 inches at least.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like,
well, I
teeny
can't
next
call
to
you
him.
Little Buddy because
Wow.
I'll call you like Tall Buddy.
Right.
So that was, because I did All My Children.
I know you did. Who did you work with?
Michael Knight,
Yeah.
one of the funniest guys I know.
I know.
He did State of Mind. He was fantastic.
I love him.
Lauren Holly,
Okay.
who I became best friends with her husband, and it's a long story, but it's pretty wild.
A good one.
They didn't want me to put it in my book because whatever, but it was a cool story. Who else did I work with? That period. David Canary?
Well, you were on there with David and James Mitchell.
Yeah, all that stuff. I was so freaking scared, man. And I tell the story that when I screen tested, I was in the makeup room, and I was the 5th one to go in. And then the executive producer comes out. He didn't know I was in there. So he goes in the other room. He goes, I got the guy. The one this one is it. The guy who was before me. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I don't have it.
That is a horrible feeling.
Yeah, it was a horrible feeling.
To go into the audition knowing that
Yeah.
they're done. Like, so what?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think for me, it was a horrible feeling, but it kind of I just figured I'll just do it. And the pressure was kind of off. And then they called me to go back and read for another role. And then they called me and said, you didn't get the roles, but we're creating this other role. And that was cool as hell.
that's amazing.
And I will tell you this, how fate works. If I didn't get that role, it might have been very tough for me because I had just gotten out of the mental institution about a year earlier. And I was fragile. But I was strong in acting, I really wanted it. So if I didn't get it, I'd have to go back home and go through, I don't know what would have happened, right? Mm-hmm. But thank God I got it. And it helped me go forward. We should get into some stuff now. But before we do that,
Okay.
You won Skating with the Stars. And
I did win Skating
that's
with the Stars.
That's freaking amazing. That's amazing.
You know what's amazing? That I said yes.
Yeah.
Not really thinking it through.
Right.
Like, you say yes because it's exciting. I've always wanted to pair skate, so I'm super excited about that. And then the night you have to go out on this and they want the ice to shine, right? So it's very slick. They've watered, they've Zamboni'd it. And it's like the size of a postage stamp. the rink.
Wow.
And you have to do your routine on this, like,
But
I was so scared. I was shaking
But you skated before.
when I was 7 and 8.
Damn, and you won?
I mean,
No, I mean, look, it's just like Dancing with Stars. You know, look, they've asked me to do Dancing with Stars, and there's no way I can do it, even though I'm different now than I was 3 years ago. I'm a whole different person. I don't know if you've noticed.
yeah.
I'm just lighter, and it's trippy. It's great because I went through hell during the pandemic. I can't. I don't want. It's live. Was it yours live?
Yes.
Oh no, no, no.
No.
How do you do that?
Well, first of all, I didn't even bend my knees. I mean, if you watch it back, my daughter likes to watch it because she likes to ice skate. And I'm like, don't take any tips from watching me because I just didn't even bend my knees. I didn't get in. I mean, I was so nervous. I did not want to fall.
Damn.
But a couple others fell. And so I thought, oh, okay, they fell. So it's okay. But
That's
it was
not
terrifying. It was terrifying. It was great. It was amazing. It was so much fun. But it was terrifying.
See, I don't think it would be fun. Like Dancing with Stars or what you forget.
Neither
I'm
one
not
of
even
them? Really?
No.
Not even dancing? Don't you like to dance?
I loved it. I won dance contest.
You did?
Yeah, when I was younger. And I danced all the time.
What kind of dance?
And if you look at my social media, I dance all over.
What kind of dance?
Just kind of, I can dance. And I
Dance.
rhythm and the whole thing. My dad was a great dancer. But I can't, I don't want pressure anymore.
Yeah.
And this is another conversation I'm going to get into right now. Because I think, and I've been asking everybody this, I think there's a correlation between mental health and caring what people think. Because everybody, my wife, I asked Frank Grillo last weekend.
You had Frank Grillo? I was on Guiding Light with him too.
Yeah, yeah. And I asked the UFC fighter. So far, because my problem has always been caring what people think, always, from a child up. And that compounds, the depression or the anxiety or the manic episode that I've had. But if you don't have that, like you don't have it, do you?
Caring what
Do you
people
care
think?
what people think?
I haven't since I was
See that?
young.
But you do have postpartum.
Well, I had that, yeah.
Right. But I don't know if I can consider, is that a mental,
Well, it is. I mean, they treat it like a mental illness. It's weird. You don't have to have suffered from depression for it to develop.
Right.
Right? So I had both depression and anxiety.
Oh, you had anxiety.
I had both. Extreme anxiety. I mean, Maurice,
Wow.
when I tell you my anxiety, I would work, right? I'd go on set. You know those days where you have like one set and then you have this huge break and then you have a scene. I would do my first set of scenes. I would throw my clothes on, race home just to see her and only have like 10 minutes and race back to work.
Okay. Okay. Look,
No.
I want to get into this right now because I think we've talked about other stuff.
Yeah.
As far as your short film,
Yeah.
it is so. What is it? It's not that it's not the thing where you're afraid of the child. No, you're obsessed with
No,
the.
like there's postpartum psychosis where you imagine things happening to the baby, or you want to do things to the baby, or things like that. I certainly had some thoughts, but I wouldn't consider it psychosis.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know how it started. I don't really know. Like, I think that the pressure of breastfeeding.
Oh.
I wasn't she wasn't gaining enough, so I wasn't producing enough. And so I just went down a rabbit hole.
Because you were thinking, oh my God, I
I
can't.
can't even give her this.
Yeah.
Like this whole breastfeeding thing was like, the pressure was enormous. And I don't know if that was, I think when you have the baby and you're born in the hospital, they always kind of push the breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And then the pediatrician kind of pushes the breastfeeding. And so I just put that pressure as well on myself. You know, I always wanted to do things well. I was kind of like I guess maybe a perfectionist, but just everything I did, I wanted to do well, or at least my very
I get
best,
that, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In my life, acting,
Yeah.
everything. So I didn't take any like motherhood classes. I didn't do any of that. And so I think that sort of contributed to it as well. Not knowing what to do, not knowing how to handle this baby. I was kind of alone. I had my husband, but I didn't have my mom because she couldn't fly. I didn't have my sisters because she was born in the beginning of the year and they had kids, so they couldn't just fly out and be with me. And so I didn't have a tribe of people around me. So I didn't have a support system. My gynecologist never asked me, how are you doing mentally? How are you doing emotionally?
Yeah,
I just didn't have anyone sort of taking care of me in that way.
Now this just creeps up. You've never had anxiety before, or this
I
just
mean, I'm sure I'd had like,
but not
you
like
know, yeah, not
crumbling.
not where I'm thinking about killing myself, and not where I'm just crying
Yeah.
out of, you know.
So this, when it happens, is a lot of impact.
Yeah.
Because you've never had to, even when you experience the anxiety or whatever I have, it's still scary as hell. But the first time is, because you don't. Yeah.
Everyone was worried about me.
And wait, you had to act also? You had to go to work?
Well, so she was so in December, she was born in September. In December, I knew I had a problem. I knew something. I didn't feel like myself. And I went to my therapist, who was like, Rebecca, I need you to call this psychiatrist. He deals with postpartum. You need to run, not walk. Like, you need to run. And I was like, okay. Not really. I don't know what I had said to her, but obviously she saw something. So I called him and I'd started seeing him, and I had just stopped breastfeeding when Frank called for me to come just for 2 weeks. And then I came back to the show, but you know, I had it for she was like 3.5, 4 by the time it started to dissipate. People don't realize it can last that long. They think it's only like 3 months, baby blues, that kind of thing.
But even 3 months.
What's that?
Even 3 months.
Even 3 months is hard, right? But it can last up to 4 years. It can last, I think I've read that it can last up to 5, but it didn't for me. It was like 3.5, I think.
And what is the feeling that you have inside? Is it thoughts, nonstop thoughts, and heaviness inside? Like you feel heavy?
A lot of thoughts. Just a pervasive depression, right? So like in my short film, I'm crying on the bathroom floor, cutting my nails.
Yeah.
And that actually happened. And my husband comes in, he's like, what do you want for lunch? And I'm crying, right? And not like, oh my God, are you okay? Just like, I think he just didn't know how to handle it. And that was one of the things with the short film. I didn't want to make him out to be a bad guy, because he's not. He just didn't know how to, I'm sure your wife, back in the day, you don't know what to do. But so pervasive sadness. You asked me what my feelings.
Yeah, I want to know what it feels, because
also just like not feeling like a good parent when she cries. She's crying because she doesn't want me. Because when she's with the nanny or my husband, then she's not crying.
Oh.
So, like internalizing her crying, which, as you know, babies cry. They cry. They need something.
Right.
Yeah, she'd have these massive tantrums, and I would just like, when she would like kick and have tantrums, I'd like face her so her back was against my chest, and I would just like cry. I mean, you know how Michael Easton found out about it is because one day I had had this really hard day with her in the morning, and we came into work, and he just, as you know how he is, he can ask you a question, and it's so genuine.
Yeah.
And he was like, "How are you?" And I'm like, and I'm one of these people. And I mean, a lot of people at work had no idea. A lot of people that I knew had no idea because I present well. That's another thing about postpartum. You can really present well because you get you have a healthy baby, you have nothing to be sad about. You've got everything in the world. You've got a great husband. You have nothing to be sad about, which just completely diminishes how you feel. And so for me, I didn't tell a lot of people because I didn't want to hear that. But all of a sudden, and I should cry. I'm a very emotional person, but I don't share that with a lot of people. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I just had a really hard day.
Yeah.
And I started sharing with him about what was going on because we worked together.
Of course.
So, and that's when he told me I should write it down. So.
Wow.
That's how that started.
That's and you said it lasted years?
Like three and a
That's
half.
that's like, wow, that's heavy because when I've gone through stuff, well, it depends. Depression for 8 months, but years. I don't think I could have done it for
Well,
a year.
it was.
But you had a baby, and I understand that, and you're.
It was up and down,
Yeah.
Sometimes it was worse than others.
Yeah.
And I tried medication, and it really exacerbated. I mean, I remember the week I took
What did they give
medication,
you?
I was like, I just really wanted to kill myself. Prozac.
Oh, Prozac.
Very, 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 very small dose.
What's Prozac like?
Well, I was thinking about killing myself. It was really bad. We were on a vacation with his family, and I was like, I didn't want anyone to make noise when she was sleeping because I didn't want to.
Wow.
And so my anxiety level was like here, and I kept saying, "Please don't slam the door. Please don't slam the, please, And these are kids. They're running around. We're at a cabin. We're at a lake.
Wow.
Feeling isolated too,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they're all out on the boat, and I'm stuck with my 1.5-year-old. Or maybe she was 2.5 at that point. But I ended up doing acupuncture for it.
And that's what got it?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Because somebody...
every week. I'd go to her every week.
I was going to do that.
Yeah.
And
Well, this psychiatrist recommended this woman who just handles female, fertility and all kind of female
that wouldn't
disorders.
work for me.
She's really good. But it was a really hard time. I wish I had another kid to just experience it because I feel like my whole experience of her early years are just like.
But I think there is a lot of women who go through that.
Yeah.
What's amazing is I've never talked about this on State of Mind. I mean,
postpartum. It's important. I think
it's good, man.
When I posted a little bit, I started to share it when we submitted my film to festivals and things, and so and I got a lot of response. I got a response from people who I know, friends who were like, "Can you tell me what you're doing or what you did because I'm experiencing that?" And
you're gonna get.
It's very shameful. People feel a lot of shame around it. I think because
because there's a baby
it's supposed
involved.
to be the best time of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of shame because there's a baby involved. At least with my stuff, it's just me. But what's hard for me this last.
You have a family. It affects everybody.
Yeah.
Right? So
yes, it does. But
you might take that on. No.
No. What happened? Yes. What happened last time was I felt I was a burden to them, and that's when it gets close. Because if you say, I'm not going to end my life because I have a baby, that's good. Probably the baby will save you. Or I'm not going to end my life because I have a family, the family will save you. But if you're thinking they're better off without you, because this is negative, ugly, for too long.
Did you share any of that with anyone? Because I didn't share with anyone, and I think that's.
Yeah. I'd go in
You did.
To Paula and say I'd be crying like a baby, and she'd say like I say it all the time, but I think it's important. She'd say, "Honey, you're stronger than you know." And I said, "Honey, I can't go another day. I can't." And then the beautiful one time, my son. This is the most beautiful thing. I was in the car and I really didn't feel like I could go on, and I was crying in there. And my son's like, "Dad, what's wrong?" I said, "You know what's wrong. I got this anxiety and it's killing me, and I can't go on." He goes, "Dad, you can go on, because I'll help you." And he did. He helped me after, because Paula was at the. I'm sorry, man, but Paula was at the. I've never seen her to the point of. Is this gonna? I mean, we've been through a lot, honey, but this one's lasting way long.
Yeah.
And then Joshua took over a bit and got through it. All right, listen. It's a beautiful talk. It really is. It really is. And
Did I talk too long? I talked too much.
you didn't even talk. You talked perfect. You didn't talk a lot or anything, too much, nothing. It was perfect. You got deep, beautiful. Some people don't, some actors, they don't get deep. That's fine. I don't care. I go another direction, whatever. But I think what I wanted was state of mind, and I think it's happening, especially lately. I wanted it to be like therapy session. Not that I'm a psychiatrist, but just that feeling of you can feel safe, we open, we talk, we get deep. Because what it does, and what you just did, and you're going to see, you're on Twitter and you're on Twitter?
I'm only on Instagram.
Ah, damn.
I really fight social media.
I get it.
I took my Twitter account away, and
Then here's what
I
I'm
don't
gonna,
have a Facebook, but I do Instagram.
Here's what I'm going to do for you, since you don't have it. I'll send you about 5 or 6 things that are sent to me about this interview, just so you understand the impact that you just made with what you just said.
There are a lot of people out there who are suffering, who don't talk about it.
Yes.
And don't know what to do.
Yes.
And that's why I made that film,
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of doing things like that, because you don't know, we don't know who out there is on the verge of doing something they shouldn't do. Mm-hmm. And because of that film, or what you just said in here, or what I've said, they won't do it. That's the reality. And I got letters to prove it. And it moves the shit out of me. But that's why we have to continue to do this. Mm-hmm. Michael Easton.
Good luck.
She's going to call you.
Good luck. I tried. I really did.
Yeah, I get it, though.
He's very private.
I know.
So private. I mean.
All right. Thank you. It's been
you.
great.
Thank you.
We'll do it again.
Okay.
Bye.